Easter is upon us, and that means a surge in travel and family gatherings and an increase in consumer spending. FNB forecasts an over 8% increase in spending, driven by accommodation, flights and clothing costs. Ashley Saffy, FNB's head of Card and CVM, joins us now. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. What are the key factors taken into consideration by FNB to forecast this 8% increase in consumer spending over this Easter time?
Hi, thank you so much for having me on the show. So a couple of consideration factors. I think that there has been some consumer relief, just given that inflation currently at the moment is 3.2%. We have seen strong growth leading up to Easter now, whether it be on accommodation and travel, bookings, etc., as well as an increase in experiences and family time, so restaurants, entertainment, etc.
Middle-income groups are traditionally the biggest contributors of economic growth through spending. Have you seen any change in spending patterns around Easter with the high cost of living?
So at the moment, we're currently seeing across our various income buckets an increase in spend, and that is obviously, though, there'll be more luxury type of spend in our higher income earners, such as accommodation and travel related type of spend. And then with our lower income earners, it has been more of the essential goods at the moment during this period, as well as like an increase, for example, on groceries. And even that being said, in our middle income earners, we are seeing an increase in restaurants during this time period, just for the public holidays.
Well, with the looming VAT increase, surely consumers would be a little bit more conservative in their spending.
I think it's an interesting question. So I think that the VAT increase will obviously affect our consumer spend. I think with the looming increase, though, I think there is a bit of uncertainty from our consumers. And I do think, though, hopefully they are taking that into consideration with their budgeting as well.
Now, FNB says there's been a remarkable 134% year-on-year growth in virtual card payments over the peak Easter period last year. What are some of the security features of these virtual cards across the different banks?
Yes, so we've seen fantastic growth from a virtual card perspective, and I think a lot of that speaks to as South Africans become more comfortable with using digital payments, and as we've seen cash decrease, we've seen greater adoption. And from an FNB perspective, a lot of that is related to our security features, such as having a dynamic CVV on the back of your card, which changes every couple of minutes, really adding that extra layer of security for our customers when doing online purchases, as well as adding their virtual card, for example, on digital card wallets, such as the likes of Google Wallet, Apple Pay, etc.
Now, what are some of the main fraud risks customers should watch out for over the Easter holiday period, especially?
So, I mean, scammers are always going to be out there, and I think that our customers just need to be vigilant. The bank will never, or any bank is never going to request one-time PINs from you. So do not reveal that information. Do not reveal your passwords. Be careful when you're withdrawing money, for example, with people standing nearby. Those are the main things. Also be cognizant when expecting deliveries that there are actual type of courier type of fraudsters out there that are asking customers, prompting them for their actual information, but it's not really the real courier. It's a fraudster trying to get the information.
There's still a huge increase in the amount of people using virtual cards.
Yes, so it is not quite 134% at the moment. It has declined slightly, but it's off the back of it being a very large base at the moment. So yes. From an FNB perspective, we have 5.2 million active virtual cards, and we've had over 100 billion rand in spend on virtual cards. So we are still seeing positive movements, and we think we'll continue to see that as customers become more familiar with it and more comfortable with technology.
And Ashley, one last question. Any advice for families going away this weekend on how to budget properly?
Yes. Cool. So from a budgeting perspective, I would obviously encourage customers during this time, spend and spoil your loved ones, but do not do emotional purchasing, right? I think it's very easy during these times to try and have an emotional connection to it because it's family related, holiday related, and you might overspend there. So keep track of your spending. From an FNB side, we have really tried to make that more convenient for customers, having NAV budgeting on our app where you can track your daily spend per category, but really try and budget and stick to that budget amount.
Thank you, Ashley Saffy from FNB, with some really good advice there to avoid emotional spending over the Easter weekend. Thank you, Ashley.